welcome to Wada Wonderful World. I am Monica Wada, and this is a very special video that I have for you today because this is my first giveaway to celebrate 100 subscribers. And if you want to know how to enter, watch to the end of this video and I'll tell you then. So the first thing that I do before I start making the cake is that I sit down together with whoever's having a birthday. In this case is my eldest daughter, and once they choose what they want, I make sure that there is something that I can make. And then if you have a printer, you can print out the picture that you chose, and I always try to make it the size of an A4 paper. So print out the picture exactly the size of the cake that you want it to be. Because this is a big tall cake, you need a good support, and I'm using a stainless steel threaded rod. For my other cake that I made, the Hello Kitty one, I'm going to leave a link down below. I have used plastic support, and it was actually not very strong, so definitely if you have an option, use the stainless steel one. And I know you have to do a little bit more work using the stainless steel and the wood, but this will guarantee that your cake is not going to fall off. So here I'm just checking where I'm going to put the nuts. Also, I drew a couple of lines to see where my cake board was going to be. So about the waistline and one just below the hip. So I measured the cake board and I cut it exactly the same size as my drawing. And to decide how wide I wanted to make my cake, I sort of did about the same as my length. So yeah, you can see how you want it to make your cake, as long as it's proportional. My dough ended up to be a little bit stronger than I planned, but it's okay because Wonder Woman is strong. Starting from the top, I started with the nut and then a washer and the cake board, and then another washer and a nut. And I also tighten it up really well so the cake board will just stay there in one place. It wouldn't be wiggling around when I put the cake and the icing. To keep the arms and the legs in place, I chose this flexible wire, and I cut them a little bit bigger than what I needed first, because and then I thought I could trim them later. It is very important to wash the threaded rod, all the stainless steel parts. I put them in the dishwasher in the hottest setting, and I also cover that in foil before I put the cake over them. For the wires that I use for the arms and the legs, I just cleaned it, and I didn't want to put any foil because I thought it was going to be too hard for the rice bubbles and the marshmallows to get stuck on them. But make sure that no one eats those parts if you don't cover them with anything. Just watch the kids. And actually I had to tighten the nuts after I added the wires. After everything was secured, I positioned the wires where I wanted for the arms and legs to be. Before I added a skeleton on the wood, I added a couple of feet higher than the nut. And that was also really helpful for me to put my fingers underneath to lift the cake, because this cake is going to be quite heavy. To make the feet, I have used marshmallows. You can melt them in the microwave, and before I add the rice bubbles, I use some of that underneath the cake board to help glue that feet up there. To handle the marshmallow, I have greased my hands with oil, but actually found it a lot better just having my hands wet with water. And this is where that wire is going to come in so handy, so that feet can be up there in the air. I found the plate and I put it underneath the feet to support it, and they have to go straight in the fridge to set. When the marshmallow have set, I make sure that I covered everything with foil. I have made this lovely and moist chocolate cake. I'm going to leave the recipe on the description below. And I have chosen to make a white chocolate ganache because I want it to be firm when I put it back in the fridge. I have drained a little bit of the excess off from the cake board. And I kept adding the ganache and the cake until all the gaps were filled. I've also used acetate to help smooth the round bits.
Quick, Miranda, call in the backup.
Right away, sir. Calling all units. Calling all units requesting immediate assistance to bake a large cake. Help!
And then I started covering the cake, measuring and cutting, and then filling all the gaps with different colors. I like to spend a little bit more time with the smaller details because I think they make all the difference on the cake. With the W, what I have done is that I pressed down on the baking paper with the skewer, so making it the details a bit more deeper on the icing. For the bracelet, I have done the same thing like the W, but the difference is for the white part, I have brushed with silver luster dust. I have decided to trim a little bit of the arm because it was just too big. I know Wonder Woman is strong, but she doesn't have to have such big arms. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. So I have here 54 baking tools to give away. For you that's starting out or if you already like to bake. So all you need to do if you like to win this competition is to leave me a comment of anything that you like me to make next. Like the video and follow my Instagram accounts. And I'm gonna leave a link for you on the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you if you already subscribed. If you haven't already, click here on my head and you can subscribe for new videos every week. Bye!